Hello there, James Shooters. It's been a long time since I played Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. However, there are a couple new video ideas I have related to this game, and I thought this video was the perfect way to start it. So today, we're going to look at my main amusement park in this game, Triple J World, that you can see on my channel page. It's fantastic. I've been working on it for a very long time. Now, you might remember that I made a tour of this like 2 years ago. It was filmed 2 years ago. However, so much has been improved since then that it wouldn't be a good option to do a what's new a Triple J World video. And instead, I'm just going to do the whole thing from scratch. So, let's begin. So all you have to do is go in here and look at all these parks. This is the one we're going to go to, and here it is. This is the entire park that I have on my channel page. It's fantastic. I've been working on it for almost 3 years now. It's very cool. There's so much I need to show you. So let's get going. So this is the parking lot. I tried to make it look a little bit realistic. Most of it you can't really see because obviously I can't have a parking lot this small for this big of a park. Those are handicap spaces. That's like the drop-off entrance. I've been thinking about redoing this entrance building for a bit, but yeah, it's there, and inside there are a bunch of things. This is like the main entrance area with all the shops. You can rent a swan to go across this lake. Here's a Marigold 755. If you're wondering why it's called that, it's a joke from How to Play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Right here is going to be the on-site hotel, but I haven't gone into it yet. So there are many paths we can go through. We'll go left. This right here is a steel coaster that's supposed to mimic the style of a wooden coaster to hopefully get kids used to bigger rides. Beach coaster, it's alright. This is like the water park slash beach area. As you can see, I made somewhat of a water park here, although I will someday complete it in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but I don't know much about water park design. This is our B&M Fortress coaster called Beach Blazer. It's really cool. It has 2 vertical loops and a climb up the hill, but my favorite part is the river and the island.
Actually, it's not an island. As you can see here, this bit of land here connects to the mainland right here. It's not an island, idiot.
Corkscrews on top of it. It previously looked really ugly here, but I recently did a lot of changes to it, and it looks beautiful. This is going to be a monorail station. I'm working on revamping the monorail. This right here, this is not the original station for this ride. It was originally for a water slide that went up this hill, but I decided for more realism I would demolish it because it wasn't really realistic and add a roller coaster. What does this look like to you? I'll tell you what it looks like to me. To me, it looks like a roller coaster with really bad breath. In case you don't get it, it's from a video from Game Time. Not Mike and Anthony. Game Time. And they're going to play Cluster Truck. And there was a rock that looked like and I believe Anthony asked Tall, what does that rock look like to you? And Tall said, like a rock with really bad breath. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite moments ever. I actually timed this roller coaster so that way when you're going up the lift hill, the train's right above you. It's fantastic. You can get on the sky ride right here. This right here is the Pirates Cove section. It's a recent development which I made shortly after rebranding this park to Triple J World. The main attraction is the Arg wooden coaster by a manufacturer that is canon to my YouTube universe called Fluffing Bridge Construction. They also did Wooden Roller Coaster at Standing in a Field, which is only about an hour's drive away. It's a very tall and fast roller coaster with lots of turns, fantastic. And recently, it got a repaint from blue to brown, and new GCI trains and tracks. So It's fantastic. I need to show the stats as I go. I'm not going to pause them to read them. You could just read them on your own if you're interested. You probably saw this coaster staying but not operating at the beginning of How to Play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 2 years ago, because there's still a part of the park in development. So we've conquered this section of park. Next we're going to go here. This is the Comet. It is the first coaster built in this park. Not the first coaster built in the timeline of this park, but the first coaster that I built in real life for this park. It's called the Comet because it's a classic wooden coaster name. It's also named after 2 roller coasters I've ridden in real life that I really like. It's very cool. It's made by Custom Coasters International, and of course, Drunken Sailor. Can't forget about that. This is the second oldest ride at the park, Root Beer Rapids, sponsored by A&W. Actually, not. But yeah, it's in a pit. It goes around a bit. I thought about demolishing it to make room for a hotel, but I thought, no, it's too special. Let's not get rid of it. Oh yeah, and when you exit, you go by a drink shop, so that way I can get your money. In here we have the Pittsburgh driving experience. I love these lakes here. Here's the other end of the Skyride, and this is the park's RMC roller coaster. It's called Champion the Bull. Very nice coaster. I'll give it stat. This is the Minecraft section of the park. It has 3 very new roller coasters. This one's called Sheep Chase, as an roller coaster. Explosions, a mini mine train. And the Raiders are coming, which replaced another coaster called Summer Sledding. It uses its same station, and it actually has the same left turn out of the station. This is one of my favorite coasters in the park, and there's a story to it. You can see the Minecraft biomes, and the Raiders start at their outpost to grab their buddies, and then they go around the world, going through the village, terrorizing its residents. The Raiders are coming! And look, Minecraft themed boats for the wood types. If you're wondering why these are here, it's because the monorail support used to be here. And this used to be called Iron Miner Tycoon, but to fit the theme of Minecraft, I named it Danger Cavern. And this is the track here. I'm thinking about redoing the scenery because, as you can see, it's just a bunch of trees. It doesn't look really nice, but I'll do that soon. This is the kiddie section of the park. It is seen to Thomas the Tank Engine. Not very well, though, but great race. Boulder, as you might remember from must seen the Boulder, and Trees, The Trouble with James, one of my favorite YouTube poops. And of course, a train ride called the Flying Chicken Strips! This right here is a classic wooden coaster, which I call You Better Run, inspired by Tongo's remix of Pumped Up Kicks. Very old coaster. I consider it the oldest coaster in the park. Here's a road station here. This is the log ride called Triple J Arctic Lumber Co. And Blizzard Mountain, inspired by Disney's Blizzard Beach, my favorite water park in the world. There's a beautiful train bridge going over. It's one of the most popular rides in the park. Right here, this is one of the most recently revamped parts of the park, themed to my camping adventures in Boy Scouts. This right here is the tallest ride in the park, the Freaking Heck 420 Quest on the Trail. It goes all the way up here. I wish I could make the lift rail go directly here, but I couldn't. Oh yeah, the trains are absurdly long, but that was the only way I could make them go through. And yeah, the layout is very long. It's a revamp of another coaster called The Heck. But because it wasn't doing so well in terms of popularity, I decided to make a big change. This is the main camping section of the park, which used to be called Very Scary Rides, but I decided it looked ugly. This is Omayomu Shindeu, the oldest launch coaster. This is Corbin Fire, the newest coaster in the park, a small GCI called Yo. I call it that because it goes over here. And also, once I introduced Derek to a funny laugh, which sounds like yup, 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 yup. Very funny. And there's more to it here. There's a newer River Rapids ride that was originally going to be a spiritual successor to Rupee Rapids, but I decided to keep both because they're both cool. And look, this takes a little imagination, but this is a car ride which shows the Legend of Lance. Basically, think the audiobook, but here. Yeah. And so we're going to go through these hills, and here's some go-karts here, a second merry-go-round. This is the corkscrew, one of the corkscrews that used to be part of a ride that this ride takes up called Yellow Spotted Lizard, inspired by Holes by Louis Sagar and the movie. But now it has an intimate blitz coaster called the Man-Eating Worm. This right here is the western themed section of the park, themed to the desert. This is my favorite train station in the entire park. And here's our B&M invert amplification. Right up here is the tallest monster truck or any car ride in the world, which goes all the way up here. I just call it High Mountain Adventure. And this is the park's Giga Coaster. A Giga Coaster. It might not be the tallest ride at the park. However, what's great about it is that it has a 300-foot drop in complete darkness. It's really fascinating. So yeah, that's the western theme section of the park. And right next to it, this sort of breaks theme a bit, but this air launch coaster, Hypersonic JJJ, has the intent to excite guests as they come into the park. Very fun. Now this right here is our B&M dive coaster, Grand Theft Parking. It's the most ridden ride in this park's history, and it's quite classic. It has this cool queue-line building, office building, Coliseum, this loop around the tracks, and this helix. I would have added more inversions, but in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, the only inversions for the dive coaster are the loop and the big loop. That's kind of boring. Yeah. So that's about it for Triple J World. I tried to make this tour as short as I can, and in the future, I plan to expand the kids section. I want to make a new beautiful ride right here where the station for This Is America used to be. I want to revamp the scenery for Danger Cavern, reboot the monorail and have a station right here, and revamp the entrance, and probably do an expansion of the ice-themed section of the park. Maybe that's what this coaster could be. I just thought of that. Yeah, this area, and this area of the park, as well as this area, are recently changed to meet my new scenery standards. And it's a great place to be, and I wish it were real, but that's okay. So, thank you all for watching. Please expect more RCT2 content very soon.